Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Trudy Stoner, not your ordinary love coach. I'm the coach that's going to introduce you to what love really is, who you really are. So, in my prior video, I talked about conscious living. And in this video, as promised, I want to talk about conscious love, conscious relationships, conscious coupling, to be exact. So, if you are in a relationship or you are desiring a relationship and you would like to take soulmate to a whole new level, if you would like to have next level love, then stick with me because I'm going to dive deep and there's a lot of information here. I promise this video won't go too long, but it's so life-changing. And I think that when we embrace this, we have the ability to transform our relationships, or as I always say, be the one. If you want to attract the one, you need to become the one. When we start to really step into conscious living, we then can take that into conscious loving. And you will not experience love in the same way ever again. And for so many, that is such a good thing. That is such good news. Because a lot of times, and I talk about this in the book Heal and in the program Heal, I talk about the wound. And I talk about the wound and the scarring that is both illusional, however, I mean, we'll go into that in another video, but that is left over, residual from heartbreak and how we cling to it for safety. We put it on like armor and we carry that wound around with us until we are willing to heal it and release it. And what that wound does is it also attracts wounded, and it attracts people that have not taken the time to either release or heal that wound. And we get into cycles of toxic relationships. So I want to read something to you. And if you have pen and paper, please take a note because this is huge. And this is, I mentioned this in the last video, this is straight from scripture. This is from the Bible. And while I do not consider myself a religious person, I do consider myself a spiritual person. And this is 1 Corinthians chapter 13. I have it in a plaque on my wall, and I'll tell you why. When you listen to these words, if you write them down, if you go look it up, let it connect with you in your heart center. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and listen. Or if you're taking notes, write this down. Let it land in your heart center. Try to bypass ego, because ego is going to step in with all the yeah buts. Yeah, but, oh my God, well, yeah, but he's a jerk or she's a bitch. It's going to go yeah, but. No, try to bypass the ego. Let this go straight to your heart center. Listen with your heart. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. And it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Let that sink in. Own that. Receive that. Let that wash over and through you. That's your heart's message. That's your heart's desire. Now, ask yourself very honestly, if you have ever shown up in a relationship like that. I don't think any of us have, maybe for a moment. But if you want to be in a conscious, loving coupling, if you want a conscious relationship, this is what we're striving for. Both parties, but one has the ability to make a profound impact. But this is what, like, print this, get this, put it on your wall, daily reminder to check yourself, because what happens is we fall back into habits and patterns, and we have triggers, and we react in a certain way that's in alignment with whatever our story is. My story is I am not lovable. I am not good enough. I am not enough, whatever. I always get rejected. I get abandoned. People lie to me. I attract liars. That's our story. And believe me, you guys, it is just a story that we've made up. We can believe anything that we want to tell ourselves. Then my habit of reacting is going to be much different than if my story is, I am lovable. I am love. I love myself. I love my life. I am secure. I am well. I am whole. And I attract others into my world that are also whole. I attract people that love me. I attract people that want to be near me and that love to receive and experience my love. That's also a story. But it's so much closer to our truth than the other prior story. But we get to choose. It's always a choice. Choose love or choose fear. Energetically, we will match what that belief is, love or fear. So back to this. If we come into this, we want to be consciously in a coupled relationship and have conscious coupling. Look at each one of these. Love is patient. Ask yourself, is this how you show up in love? Is this how you show up in love with you? Have you reached a level of conscious coupling with yourself first? That is huge, you guys. That's the foundation for this, for healthy love, for forever love, for incredible freedom in love. Freedom. How often do you hear that word used? We hear, I'm anxious, or I'm nervous, or a lot of times it's butterflies. And we confuse butterflies with something really positive. With butterflies is flight or fight. So it's okay to have excitement and tension, like good tension, like sexual, it's like chemistry, spark. It's great, it's fabulous, but it's not all that there is. And a lot of times when we have butterflies, there's a lot of nervous around that, and that's around an anxious. Is it going to work out? Do they like me back? And we mistake that. So we want to make sure that love is peaceful. Love is freeing. Love is feels secure. It feels warm. It feels aligned. It feels familiar. It feels relaxing. It feels exciting. It feels like you can make a list of all the things that you want to feel in relationship. And I encourage you to do that. So let's look at this. Love is patient. Are you patient with your other and with yourself, with people, with humanity, with life? Are you patient? Are you kind? Love is kind. Are you kind? I know. Believe me. Ego's going to step in and go, yeah, but kind. She was a jerk to me. He was a jerk to me. They did this to me. I deserve this. I have every right to be angry. I have every right to be mean. I have every right to retaliate. I have every right. But is that kind? Ask yourself, is it kind? Doesn't envy. When you see somebody that has something that you really want, are you envious or are you congratulatory? Do you celebrate with them? Are you excited for them? Are you grateful for them? It doesn't boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. And it is not self-seeking. How often do we get into relationship? What's in it for me? Instead of, how can I show up for me, for them, for us? One of my favorite coaches, Melanie Ann Layer, says, for me, for you, for us. I love that. So all-encompassing. It is not easily angered. Oh, that's a good one, huh? How many times in relationship can you say that? Do you have a short fuse? Are you easily angered? Or are you patient? Are you kind? Do you stay anchored in love? Ask yourself that. Okay, if you write down one thing, if you take away one thing, it's this. It keeps no record of wrongs. It doesn't say it keeps a little record of wrongs. It doesn't say it sometimes keeps no record of wrongs. It flat out says it keeps no record of wrongs. How many of us can say that we do that? It doesn't delight in evil, rejoices with the truth, always protects, always trusts. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust the universe? Do you trust love? Do you trust your person? It hopes, it always perseveres, and love never fails. Okay, so I want to take just 2 more minutes to dive deep into this, what it looks like. So when you decide to embrace this, that can be your blueprint. That's like an absolute roadmap for you. It can be your touchstone. But in addition to that, like, what does it look like to experience this? What does it look like in a relationship? Lack of judgment, acceptance. Who doesn't want to be fully accepted for who they are, warts and all? None of us is perfect. We are all human and we will make mistakes. We absolutely are going to get triggered when we are going to default back, and we need to learn how to forgive faster. And when you have, like, you're not your best and you fall off that love conscious coupling wagon, forgive yourself faster, apologize faster, reconnect faster, and then get back in alignment with conscious coupling, get back in alignment with love. Give grace to your partner. Help them to also know that you forgive faster. Give grace. Don't hold on to grudges. Don't be judgmental. Don't be unkind. In a conscious relationship, if freedom is the goal, the objective, what does that look like? No more clinging. No more possession. No more ownership. We have confused this with love. You belong to me. We're in relationship, so you are mine. I am not talking about non-monogamy here, because you can be in a very monogamous, committed relationship and still be in a conscious coupling. Again, no judgment there. There's plenty of people out there that are practicing non-monogamy. The key is transparency. The key is truth. The key is honesty, because betrayal and lies don't have any place in conscious relationships. So it's about communication and openness and transparency. And so either way, you can have this with conscious coupling. It's an agreement between two people, but here's the foundation for it is that you love each other enough to set each other free, if that is for the betterment of each person. You don't want to force someone to be in relationship with you, and you don't want to feel forced into relationship. Complete freedom is that we're both here by choice. You don't need to be or have to be. You're not obligated to be. Choose to be. That's beautiful. That's freedom. You let go of any and all attachments to the outcome, because you trust that whatever happens is exactly perfectly right. You trust that everything that happens is happening for you, not to you. You trust that relationships begin and relationships end. And sometimes they go the distance for an entire lifetime. They don't end until death. And sometimes they're just a season. Sometimes they're a learning experience. Sometimes it's short, but it's all perfectly perfect. When you accept that and really step into that, it's absolute freedom. Gone are the days of checking your phone obsessively. Gone are the days of putting a judgment and an attachment into he or she should have done this. They should have called. They should have texted. They should have come. They should have done this. They should have done that. Gone. We release them all. What is happening is perfectly perfect. Now, if it's out of alignment with what you desire in relationships, then perhaps it's run its course. And it's okay to let it go. But you let them go in love, or you leave in love, wishing them the best, holding them in a very high state, holding space for them energetically in a loving place, because you understand that it's all perfectly perfect. It's all happening for the highest good of all. That is the way the universe works. And when we align with that, that's what we attract. You also detach from expectations. You release and let go of any expectation that you have about how this looks. So you detach from the outcome, you trust that everything is perfect, and you release expectations, because that is complete freedom. You love you. You love your life. You are an individual sovereign being. You do not lose that because you get into relationship with another. You allow them to be an individual sovereign being. And the two of you choose to spend time together and to love on each other in full, total transparency and acceptance, in a brilliant, brilliant beam of love, surrounded in a big bubble of love. It is conscious coupling, conscious relationship, conscious loving. I'd love to know how this affected you. If this landed, if you have questions, leave me a comment. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be dropping in videos every single week on all things love. And I would love to hear how it affects you. I'd love to have you be part of my tribe, and I'll see you in the next video. One other thing quickly, visit trudystoner.com. I actually am launching a program on Monday called Heal. So if this is of interest to you and you would like to know more, visit my website and I'll give you all the details there. All right, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, guys.